The summer sun is here to stay in Calhoun County, and welcome to In Tune with Calhoun. I'm your host, Ashley Jones, Communications Director here at the Calhoun County Area Chamber and Visitor Center. Thanks for joining me for the Chamber's official podcast, where I'll be bringing you news you can use for your organization, Chamber event info and updates, as well as a local guest sharing what they do best to help connect you to our community. We've got updates from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, as well as some upcoming Chamber events highlighting the legislative session and our youth entrepreneurs. Be sure to stay until the end for my interview with Shawn Blackmon, the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Alabama, and hear about the impact their organization is making on the lives of littles in our region, including Calhoun and Etowah counties. Now the Alabama legislative session has ended, Senator Keith Kelley will be giving Chamber members a recap on the bills and issues they discussed at our legislative review event. This will take place on Tuesday, June 17th from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. here at the Chamber in Anniston. To register, visit our event calendar at calhounchamber.com. According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, possible trade deals provide optimism, but uncertainty caused by the tariff policies continues to curb small business owners' appetite for growth. Consumer spending is helping keep small businesses above water and is boosting revenue outlooks, while feelings about the national economy continue to be negative. As of May 29th, GoDaddy has some new small business data available, stating that the smallest businesses predict a weaker national economy and rising revenues. 49% of micro business owners, so if you have less than 10 employees, you're a micro business, they predict a weaker economy in 6 months. 66% of micro business owners believe revenue will increase in the next 6 months. 40% of self-employed business owners expect to remain without employees. And 52% of micro business owners cite limited cash flow as their biggest financial barrier, and 8% view access to capital as their top small business challenge. Have a young entrepreneur in the house or no one wanting to start their own small business? We would love to invite them to participate in this year's Youth Entrepreneur Expo, also known as YE, on Friday, August 29th here at the Chamber. Register today to reserve your booth at the Expo, allowing your child to sell their products and services to the community and spread the word about their business. Participants will even be given a YE Classroom seminar on Friday, August 15th to learn more about owning and running a business, as well as being paired with a business mentor to ask questions about being a small business owner. Sign up today at calhounchamber.com. And without further ado, please join me in welcoming today's guest, Shawn Blackmon. So today we are joined by Shawn Blackmon, the new CEO of the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Alabama for our region. I'm sure you've probably heard of Big Brothers Big Sisters, but we have it right here in Northeast Alabama. And Shawn's come to our area recently, and I want to talk a little bit about that. I want our folks to get to know you. So, Shawn, tell us about yourself.
Well, I am a happily married man. I better say that first. We've been married for 17 years. We have 4 children that range from professional sports all the way down to, and I don't want to say down, but all the way over to into the security realm or police department. Okay. So civil servant. And so they run the gauntlet. But I have a beautiful wife, Janice, who is currently with AT&T as an in-home expert. And she is formerly an optician. She has 25 years of that, but decided to make a career change and is excelling greatly, working actually the same territory that I work. So she's in Anniston, she's in Oxford. Some days she comes down she's in Etowah County, she'll be in Birmingham. I have no idea where she is. If it wasn't for her sharing her location, I would not know where she's working from day to day.
Always on the go.
Yes.
All right. Well, nice. So tell us a little bit about your roles previously. I know that you were the executive director for It's Your Move.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. So It's Your Move is a behavioral health clinic, and they believed in a holistic approach to mental health and behavioral health. So we offered, not only did we offer counseling services, we also offered a nurse practitioner to see about your body, because if the body isn't right, your mind is going to be messed up because you're worried about the things going on with your body. And if your mind is messed up, then you're not going to know I need to take certain medications to make my body right. We found a lot of the homeless population are usually in that situation because one or both of those things are thrown off. And so if you're, let's just say you're a type 2 diabetic with high blood pressure, but your psyche is off, your mindset, your mental is off, you're not going to even think to take your meds, which is going to cause you to feel even worse. And then you start looking at, woe is me. You look you look at your surrounding, and that starts weighing on your mental behavior. So that's why we also offered case management, where our case managers would help them find the resources within the community to be successful people in the community. And I mean, and we've had people who come from means and people who had nothing, and we've been able to help them at It's Your Move. And prior to It's Your Move, I was the Southeast senior sales and marketing representative for a football helmet company called Zenith. And so really, really blessed job. I was able to work with and be in negotiations with people like Coach Mariucci. I've sold to Auburn University. I've sold helmets to Deion Sanders, Ed Reed from the Baltimore Ravens. I've been able to speak on some of the largest platforms and meet some of what Under Armour would call the next 100, who are guys that are getting ready to go into the league. So it's just it was a really good, fun job. Yes.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, you've been like everywhere, but you are in a unique position to be like really qualified for what you're doing now. You know, like you kind of see the signs of where kids are struggling and where they might need, you know, whether it's the mental or the physical, how you can kind of coordinate that with the big brothers and sisters. Yeah.
Yes. And, you know, I mean, and here's the last thing. I currently am a pastor. So I pastor a church here. And so I do have a compassion for people and a heart for people. And, you know, raising my kids, I was always there to coach them. And so, and now that they're all grown and out of the house, I'm always looking for the next person that I get to help influence their life. And, you know, it's kind of one of those old adages where you can fish with one line and catch one fish at a time, or you can cast a larger net. And I really look at Big Brothers Big Sisters as fishing with a net. You know, I want to impact so many people. I want to help so many people and so many youth, but I can only do so much one at a time. But with what we currently do and partnering with all of the different agencies that we partner with, we're able to really extend into the 5 counties that we currently operate in.
So what are the 5 counties?
You would ask that question. It is Etowah.
I don't think I know what they are. I'm assuming at least Etowah and Calhoun, but I wouldn't know what they were.
Right. Etowah, Calhoun, Cherokee, Talladega, and DeKalb.
Okay. All right. Didn't mean to quiz you there.
Well, I always forget DeKalb for some reason. So if anybody's from DeKalb County, please forgive me. I just seem to overlook them for whatever reasons. I had to think about it.
You need to come introduce yourself so he's got that connection to DeKalb so he'll remember.
Yes.
Nice. So do you have any other hobbies or things that you like to do outside of, you know, like the career and the passion maybe?
Yeah. So hobbies are, so one other job I had was I was a college tennis coach. And so I still play tennis, and I play pickleball. So I enjoy both of those.
Very popular right now.
Yes. Most people look at me and they say, okay, you look like you played football. You don't look like you played tennis. But I actually played college football too. But I'm too old to try to strap on pads and go play. So to fit that need of that, I still play Madden and NCAA 25. I am a gamer. I am actually ranked in the top 3% of all NCAA players right now.
What?
So yeah, I am a gamer. And kids love to hear that I'm a gamer because they always want to play me. And then when they play me and they're mad and they're upset, I just look at them like, look, I tried to warn you.
They get smoked.
Right. Don't let this old face fool you. I still got it. No, I still play. I still play.
What team do you usually play?
So when I'm on NCAA, I'm playing with Alabama because I'm from Tuscaloosa.
Okay, yeah.
And if I'm playing pro ball, if I play in Madden, I'm using the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, I can roll with that. Obviously Alabama. I have family that lives in Philly, so I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I'm a big Jalen Hurts person. When he was at Alabama, got to meet him. Really nice, humble guy. And so always wished him the best. And so you want to support, you always want to support. And I know just because I'm playing a video game, I'm not really supporting him, but I am living vicariously through his ability on my Xbox. So there you go.
I got you. I got you. That's so cool. Yeah, we haven't really talked about games too much on the podcast. For anybody listening, I'm a gamer too, but usually I play
Okay.
like solo stuff because being at the chamber, it's a very people heavy job. So like when I get home, I gotta recharge.
Yes.
I love hanging out with our members, but at the end of the day, that's my family time too. So that's how me and my husband kind of hang out together and just unwind.
Well, tell your husband I said he is a blessed man because my wife does not come in there while I'm playing. She she will do any and everything but attend and watch me play a game. Now here's on true story. I asked her when we got married. I asked her if I could go professional, and she said, "Professional at what?" And gave me this really crazy look. I
Yeah.
said, "I want to be a professional gamer." And I said, there are guys out here competing in tournaments making 40, 50, 60,000. So it tells you how long ago this was. And she said, okay, what does that mean? I said, well, I have to practice. And she said, okay, well, what does that mean? I said, well, I would have to practice 8 to 10 hours a day. And she said, so you're telling me my husband is going to be at home playing a video game for 8 to 10 hours a day? No, we're not doing that. So I gave up my hopes of being a gamer.
No, I mean, you can still go and play tournaments at conventions and stuff. I mean, on the weekends when you're free, and that way she wouldn't, I'm trying to
I'm sure
advocate for both of y'all here, like seeing it from
I,
both sides.
I'm sure she would have a honey-do list for me on that weekend. So there wouldn't be a chance for me to play in a tournament.
Look, happy spouse, happy house. Okay,
Yes,
it's a give
yes,
and a take. So
yes,
I'll pray
ma'am.
for you for that.
Thank you so much.
I love that. We're actually thinking about doing, we're trying to reach our chamber members that work. Like if they're the business owner, they can't really slip away from the business because that's how they make their money. That's their livelihood.
Right,
So
right.
how can we engage networking with our members, maybe remotely, that isn't like a Zoom call? Because I know with COVID, people got kind of burnt out on that. So I was like, what if we played games and like we just had closed parties where it's like it's only chamber members. We're not going to have any rando just wandering in. And I'm like, what games are appropriate and what rules would I have to set? Because I'm like, I know people could be completely different playing a game
Right.
and popping off with something. And I'm like, all right, this is still vaguely
It's still a
professional.
it's still a business event,
Yes.
but yes.
But we're being more casual and having fun. So maybe I can pick your brain about that later.
Hey, that sounds like a plan. I mean, there's always old school game night where you pull out all the old stuff. All board games take too long, so
Yeah.
but you could be creative with a what is it, a Family Feud kind of game or
Yeah.
anything like that. And people love to watch people play games, so you could have members who don't actually play, but they're just happy to be in the place.
That's a great idea. That just gave me some more ideas. I can write that down. Nice. All right. Well, getting back to it. So, like I said,
Yeah.
folks have probably heard of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Alabama, but maybe not exactly what all you do. So, yeah, let us know what all you have to offer for the community and for those that you serve.
Okay. So, Big Brothers Big Sisters, we are let me say this. Our mission is to create and support our one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite and power and promise of the youth. So we really lean heavy all our eggs in one basket on the one-to-one mentoring. And that's very unique and different because we really don't offer any type of group setting. So your mentor is going to be there for you as a youth. Your mentor is going to be there for you for the entire year. And then if the two of you like that match, then you'll be able to continue that on into the next year. Now, what you see with we call them littles, the youth or the mentees, we call them littles. What you see is that you'll see these kids really grow. And you'll see their bigs or their mentor grow with them over this time. And they start learning from one another. Mm-hmm. So just as much as that positive influence from the big is into that little's life, it starts to pay back into the big's life as well, because now you're able to help somebody grow that never would have had this opportunity. Mm. And so I saw a gentleman, I think it was one of the agencies in Birmingham, and the young man he ended up getting a scholarship to Arkansas. But his big was a huge graduate of Auburn University. And so at the end of the whole video, you see the guy, the Auburn University grad, the big, he's doing the Woo Pig Sooie chant for the young man who plays football for the University of Arkansas, while this guy is he's sitting in their indoor facility, getting ready to practice doing this interview. And you see this guy with an Auburn shirt on doing Woo Pig Sooie, and they're laughing. But you want to create that kind of relationship where you can tear down these societal walls that are trying to keep everybody so spread apart. I mean, one of the biggest issues in our community today is that we don't see. If we can't see ourselves in you, then I don't recognize anything. Mm. And a lot of times that boils down to just how somebody was raised. It could be just because somebody came from the wrong, quote unquote, the wrong side of the tracks. I can't understand or have compassion for you. Right. But when you open your eyes and show compassion to somebody who doesn't look like you, doesn't dress like you, doesn't have the financial means that you have, now their mindset has changed that this person can be a good person and that they can care about me. And I can go and be just as successful as he is. And I can reach back and help another little understand what it means to be a good, responsible person in our community. Because it's crazy, because our vision is that we want all youth to achieve their full potential. And you can't get to your full potential if there's nobody else out there to coach you there. Mm-hmm. You know, the responsibility doesn't start and stop at the school system. Teachers can't be the ones to raise your kids. They're teaching you about what they're teaching you in school. So parents are to raise their kids, but the Bible even says it takes a village, or the concept, it takes a village. Well, where is our village? Mm-hmm. If your community isn't your village, then I don't know what you're living in. So I'm off my preacher stand soapbox kind of thing on
it's
that.
Rough out there. I'll tell you, as someone, we might not have children, but my sister and brother-in-law have 3 kids. And so it is the village. I know.
But here's the other part of that. 85% of our littles expect to finish college.
That's awesome.
So with that mindset, it helps them to even achieve more than what they ever wanted to achieve. There's an old adage, what is the one place in your city that has the most unfulfilled potential? And the answer is it's the graveyard, because people die before they ever see their full potential.
Oh man.
Yeah. You didn't know we were going to go a little deep today, but I mean, but it's the truth. And so if we want to try cut a little bit into that, it takes the support of bigs in our community to reach out and help these young kids to see their full potential. And the beautiful thing, when you help somebody see their full potential, they start you start closing the economy gap, because now they have degrees to make more money. And if you close the economy gap, well, now you're closing the gap on or shrinking the incarceration gap. Because if I don't have money, but I have to provide for somebody, well, then I'm probably going to lean towards becoming a criminal or criminal activity, because I need money. So, and I didn't get it through my education, and I didn't get it by going to school, and I've got all of this other stuff on me. So I'm going to take what I think is the easiest way to get the maximum out, and I'm going to do something criminal. And then I get arrested, and now I'm in the system, and we're paying for it either way. We're paying for it because we have to pay for them to be in the prison system.
Without getting on too big of a soapbox, yeah, absolutely. When it comes to crime, it really is prevention, because just like you said, if you fill in all those gaps, if people have purpose and can support themselves, they're way less likely to commit crimes because they have their needs fulfilled.
It's prevention. And I mean, you don't have to have this great big softy heart to just have empathy for somebody.
Right.
And I think that's probably a little bit of a problem in our society as a whole. But when you actually break it down and look at the numbers of the youth of today and what they need somebody who's gonna respect them where they are. When I was coaching and when I work with youth, I recognize kids have a face for their parents. They have a face for their friends at school, but very rarely do they show their real true face, whether it's all the hurt they deal with, because a lot of times these kids, their home life is not great at all. And they may not know where their next meal is coming from. But we're looking at them as if they did something wrong. Let me reverse this. I'm African American, since nobody can see me. I'm African American. My parents bought a house in a neighborhood in Tuscaloosa in 1974 called Northwood Lake. It was one of the largest subdivisions in the country at the time. My father bought a house on the lake. I used to get ridiculed not by the people, all of the other Caucasians in that neighborhood, and there were only 2 African American families there. I used to get ridiculed from other African Americans because they said I was trying to be something that I wasn't. When I couldn't afford to pay or buy a house, I lived where my parents put the house.
Right.
So now when you reverse that, a lot of kids, most kids, they don't have the option of the clothes that they have on their back, the shoes they have on their feet, even how they talk or enunciate a word, because when they're at home, they're getting and being fed whatever it is that comes from home. You have poor brats just like you have rich brats. It depends on how they were raised and the things that are being poured into them. But I bring it back to Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Alabama. When you have a mentor, when you have a big that starts showing you some new and different things, it starts to expand and grow your territory, grow your acumen. And it really does help you reach your potential.
You might know the percentage. I know there's a statistic, how if children, they just need at least one person in their corner that makes all the difference in their lives. Because it might not be their parents, just like you said. It might be grandparents. It might be another relative, or it could be a big. Yes. You never know who that one person could be. They might not even know until they look back,
Right. You're right.
So June is Children Awareness Month. And I honestly hadn't heard about it until recently. But when I read that it's a focus on educating and supporting children and prioritizing their health and their well-being, I really thought that fit in with the mission of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Alabama. So
yes.
Is there anything for those of us that are listening, that what can they do to help support the organization, whether if they want to be a big, is it donation opportunities? What are some things they can do to help support?
So you can always support our agency in a couple of different ways. First is volunteer. Be a big. Be a big. I'll say it again. Be a big. And can I tell a story? I got a story. Can I tell a story? There's a story about a woman and she became a big. And so she had this little young girl, and great relationship. And she helped this young woman grow into becoming a doctor. And so just being in her life, and that woman, her husband passed away, and they had been married for over 50 years. So it really devastated the mother, devastated that woman. And so the woman had kind of gone into like a depressive state. And so the young lady came to her and said, "Hey, let me get you out of the house. Let me take you to my church. They're having a big revival kind of thing going on. Let me just take you to church with me." And so the woman, against her better judgment, went. Well, the pastor was talking about preaching on prayer and how you should pray the scriptures. And so when the woman went home, she felt a lot better. She just felt good. Well, later that night, her house gets broken into while she's upstairs in her bedroom. And so she creeps downstairs and she sees this man in her kitchen, and she dials 911, and she's like, "Hey, somebody broke into my house and they're still here." Well, the 911 operator tells her, "Okay, ma'am, be really, really quiet. Just go back upstairs to your room and lock the door." But this lady had been feeling so defeated because of her husband passing that she wanted to make a stand. And she remembered what the pastor had said about praying scriptures. So the lady yells out, "Acts 2:48." And the man froze in his tracks. And when the police get there, they ask the man, like, "Hey, why did you stop? You've got this elderly woman who's just standing there with a cell phone." He said, "Cell phone? Well, I thought she said she had an axe and 2.48s. So the moral of the story is, it really just takes a little to be big. And that's kind of my pitch for everybody in our county, is that I just need you to do a little. And to volunteer, we're looking at an hour a week, 1 hour a week, to just pour back into somebody. And it can be something as simple as going to the school on your lunch break and taking that little into the library and reading a book with them. It doesn't even have to cost money, or you can go eat lunch with them. All of those things help. Yes, we are a nonprofit agency, so of course finances are always important. So you are more than welcome to always give, because we will gladly receive. But I really need the manpower, woman power of those bigs volunteering to become a big in one of our youth's lives.
Well, there you have it, folks. You got a call to action right there. And I will put the link to the different ways to support in the description for the episode. So if you are looking to donate, I'll have that readily available. If you're looking to become a big, I'll have that link too. And actually, another thing, you do have a golf tournament coming up. Is that correct?
We do. The golf tournament, Golf for Kids' Sake, is going to be at Silver Lakes, and it is coming up in August. So if any of the businesses out there want to support and play, we have multiple packages for them. We're even having a hole-in-one competition. I believe if you get that hole-in-one, you will get $5,000.
Ooh, hey, there you go.
And there's no extra fee for that. That is included in the package price of participating in the golf tournament.
Is it 4-person teams? Do you know how?
Well, they're not teams. But it is a 4-person shotgun tournament.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, I guess you could call it teams. Yes.
Nice.
There is one other thing. I am looking to grow my board of directors, and I am strategically looking for people who are interested in Calhoun County. We do a lot in Calhoun County. We were recently named Nonprofit of the Year. Thank you by the Chamber. You guys are awesome. The Chamber's out, not just because we won, but you guys are awesome. Everything you do is top notch and greatly appreciated. The events I've been to have always been, they've been second to none. So I've really enjoyed it and enjoyed all of the people just in the last 2.5 months being able to participate with you all. And so we do want to grow our base there with our board of directors. Mm-hmm. So if anybody is interested in becoming a part of our board, they're more than welcome to shoot me an email. And my email address is real simple. It's just Shawn, SHAWN at BBBSNEAL.org. Shoot me an email and just let me know that you're interested, and we can talk, and I'll send you some information and you can look it over.
Nice. And I'll have that in the description too, just in case you're driving. I know that's when I usually listen to podcasts, because I got a 35-ish minute commute. So I try to keep it simplified for y'all. But that's awesome, Shawn. We talked about so much. Is there anything else you want to tell the business community, or covered it all?
I think I covered it all. I will tell you this, just so you know that we are still doing things. We currently serve 150 youth in our areas, and looking to grow that number this year to about 180. So I really do need the support of Anniston. I need the support of Oxford. I need Calhoun County to come in like you guys always do. I just need your support, because we can do school-based and community-based programs. And we're even looking at rolling out bigs with badges, where we partner with police officers and the fire department on them being a big. So just looking for ways that we can impact. And then if you guys need us or need me, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. And if I can fit you in my schedule, I am there to help out and support in any way that we can.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, congratulations again on Nonprofit of the Year.
Thank you.
Obviously, it's like you can say we're awesome, but you're awesome too. You won. I mean, clearly.
Well, that's a modest brag, but yes, we are awesome. There you go.
That's okay. You can humble brag. I'll brag for you. How about that?
Thank you. That works.
Well, all right, Shawn, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
That's it for this week's episode of the In Tune with Calhoun podcast. Again, I'm your host, Ashley Jones, at the Calhoun County Area Chamber Visitor Center. If you're not already, be sure to follow us on social media with the links in the description. If you have any questions, just give me an email at ashleyj@calhounchamber.com. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast through Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or even directly at acast.com. That's acast.com. I hope you have a great week, and we will see you at the Chamber.